Madam
They
Chair.
the BIR apparently complied with the subpoena by bringing to us the sealed box. But because of that issue of confidentiality, we cannot open the box. When is the correct time to open the box? Commissioner? So even the
Section 27.
senators cannot open this box?
If we go by the provisions of the law, Madam Chair, then there is no basis as well for the disclosure.
Again, Madam Chair.
And we are so blessed to be with the BIR Commissioner, Attorney Charlie Mendoza. Maraming salamat, Commissioner. You've been with us since this morning, no? Let me say, save the best for last. Okay, so the floor is now open for clarificatory questions to the BIR Commissioner, Attorney Charlie Mendoza. Any member?
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
The Honorable Ridon is recognized.
We'd like to know from the BIR if they had complied with the subpoena for the income tax returns and other tax documents relating to the Vice President, Attorney Manscarpio, and their other related firms.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and honorable members of the committee. Yes, Madam Chair, we confirmed that last April 14, we submitted the documents enumerated in the subpoena that was served to the Bureau of Internal Revenue. We have submitted the documents subject to the condition that the same be examined in an executive session as provided by law. Thank you, Madam Chair.
We direct the committee secretary to kindly produce the sealed box, I understand, containing the documents submitted by the BIR. I understand that the Honorable BIR Commissioner is claiming confidentiality of the BIR documents. So we are confronted with the question of whether or not we will be opening the box.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Keith Flores is recognized.
Madam Chair, I believe that the NIRC prohibits us from discussing information about the tax of a person, Madam Chair. And I think the BIR is also prohibited from divulging or discussing the contents of an ITR of a person, Madam Chair, unless if it is done in executive session, Madam Chair, during a congressional committee hearing, Madam Chair. But for now, we are not in a congressional committee hearing. We are in an impeachment hearing, a clarificatory hearing for that matter. And since they are barred by the NIRC, then I think it would be prudent, Madam Chair, not to open the box.
Madam Chair.
May
Madam
we
Chair.
request first the BIR Commissioner to enlighten the Justice members on the nature of the confidentiality of the documents contained in the box?
Yes, Madam Chair. The National Internal Revenue Code under Section 270 expressly provides for unlawful divulgence of information. So in essence, the tax code prohibits the disclosure of specific tax information pertaining to specific taxpayers. However, the law provides for some exceptions, and one of the exceptions is provided in Section 20A of the National Internal Revenue Code, which provides that we may disclose specific tax information to Congress, provided that the examination shall be done in executive session.
The examination shall be done in an executive session.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable DS J.J. Suarez is recognized.
I think the point of subpoenaing these documents is for us to come to a informative decision with regards to whether or not there is probable cause. Now, may I get clarification from the chairman or from the members of the committee? How then are we supposed to make both ends meet with regards to this? I see a specific gray area. Dahil sa binanggit po ni Congressman Flores kanina, dapat naka-executive session tayo during a congressional hearing. Correct. However, we don't find ourselves in a congressional hearing. We find ourselves in an impeachment proceeding. So may I find out from the good chairman, is it one and the same insofar as we're still in a hearing, although an impeachment hearing? Can we just call for an executive session and look at the contents of that box, Madam Chair?
I understand that the requirement shared to us by the Honorable Commissioner is cumulative, which means that this must be both a legislative inquiry and at the same time an executive session done in its occasion.
Yes.
Which means that the executive session must be done during a legislative inquiry. But of course, the members are correct in pointing out that this is not an ordinary inquiry in aid of legislation.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair. But my
The
point
Honorable
is-
DS Suarez.
Yeah, I just want to add, no? But we are still in function or performing our legislative duty. Because as legislators, part of our duty is to convene ourselves into quote unquote, how do you say it, impeachment proceedings to determine probable cause. That is part of our legislative duty, I believe. Although it's not lawmaking, maybe Congressman Rufus can shed light into this because he's a more wise lawyer than I'm not a lawyer. But yun lang yung point ko. This is still part of our duty and our function as legislators.
Madam Chair.
The
Madam Chair.
Honorable Tino and then the Honorable
Thank you.
Keith Flores.
Madam Chair, first of all, may I ask the BIR to read again hindi ko kasi hawak ngayon, no, the exception provided in the law.
May I read section 20, paragraph A, Madam Chair, submission of pertinent information to Congress. The provision of section 270, which pertains to unlawful divulgence of information of this code, to the contrary notwithstanding, the Commissioner shall, upon request of Congress and in aid of legislation, furnish its appropriate committee pertinent information, including but not limited to industry audits, collection performance data, status reports, and criminal actions initiated against persons and taxpayers' returns. Provided, however, that any return or return information which can be associated with or otherwise identify directly or indirectly a particular taxpayer shall be furnished the appropriate committee of Congress only when sitting in executive session, unless such taxpayer otherwise consents in writing to such disclosure.
Madam Chair, I agree with the Deputy Speaker Suarez that this is a hearing of the Committee on Justice. So we may inspect the documents for as long as we are in executive session. That's my position, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam
Madam
Chair.
We know the position of the Honorable Tino. The Honorable Flores first, and then the Honorable DS Conghon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I too would like to know what's inside that box. But I think we have to distinguish that there are two functions of Congress. Now, one is the lawmaking function, and the other one is, right now, the accountability provisions of the Constitution. We are gathered here today not for the purpose of our lawmaking functions, Madam Chair. We are now here today as an impeachment part of the impeachment proceeding. So the provisions that was mentioned by our good BIR officer, Madam Chair, does not apply if we look at the exceptions, Madam Chair.
So, Madam Chair.
Madam
All
Chair.
right. The Honorable DS Conghon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, lahat po ng opisina ng ating gobyerno nag-declare na ng kani-kanilang mga dokumento. Naglabas ng kani-kanilang dokumento. So sana gawin din ng BIR yung nararapat. Kasi napaka-importante po ng mga dokumentong ito mula sa BIR. Malalaman lang ng komite kung totoo ang mga deklarasyon ni Vice President Sara Duterte ng kanyang salin kapag sinuri ang mga dokumentong isinumite nito at ng kanyang asawa sa BIR. So napaka-importante ito. Sana tumulad na po tayo sa AMLAC at i-disclose kung ano yung mga dokumento.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
BIR Commissioner, would you like to respond to DS Conghon?
Yes, Madam Chair. Nauunawaan po namin ang kahalagahan ng mga dokumentong isinumiti namin at sinubpina ng House Committee on Justice. Nauunawaan rin po namin ang kahalagahan ng proceedings na ito. Nagkataon lamang po na maliwanag na nakasaad sa batas ang mga limitasyon sa pagbibigay ng impormasyon tungkol sa isang particular na taxpayer at kami po ay obligado na sundin ang batas.
Madam Chair.
Madam
The,
Chair.
the Honorable Si Adyong.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I guess all of us are in agreement that when it comes to the documents that we want to subpoena, or we have already issued subpoena, it should be also appreciated by the committee in an open session such as this. Although we also have to be very cautious about the way we conduct this proceeding. In fact, Madam Chair, if I may remind the members of this committee, the chair herself, whenever there's a questions that is outside of a testimony or affidavit or outside the reported documents by each of the agencies, she automatically calls that particular, for example, question as probing in order to avoid, us giving impression that we're doing a mini trial. So again, I understand that the chairperson of the BIR also wants to cooperate with the committee, but she is also tied up with a certain limitations as what he already intimated to us that is very clear under the law. If, Madam Speaker, if the law intends for this committee to hold or to discuss these particular documents inside the box openly in the committee hearing, the law would have specified an exemption to include impeachment hearing. Similar with the Bank Secrecy Law. The Bank Secrecy Law was very specific that when it comes to a impeachment proceedings, that is among the exception. That meaning to say, it cannot absolutely be invoked 100% insofar as the intention of that particular bank secrecy is to proceed with the impeachment proceedings or hearing. Kung sa batas po, kung meron po sa bank secrecy law na specify niya mismo na ito ay exemption para sa purpose niya is impeachment proceeding, kung ganun din po yung intention ng batas na yon na sinight ni commissioner, dapat sinight na po doon. Pero in this case, wala po. Ang sinabi lang po doon is in aid of legislation that can only be open and that can only also be discussed in an executive session. Had the law intends also to include as an exemption impeachment proceeding, then it would have been spelled out clearly in that law. Since nawala po, we cannot interpret and provide our own interpretation doon sa batas na yun, which is clearly wala na po doon na sinasabi na impeachment proceedings. So that is only my my manifestation. Ako lang, Madam Chair, I would like to be very, very cautious on how we proceed with this impeachment hearing. Wag kung sana natin mabigyan kung sino man yung nag-aantay na magkamali tayo para questionin po yung integrity and credibility nito proceeding na ito, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po.
Madam Chair.
We know the manifestation of the Honorable Adjong. Now we recognize the Honorable Lord Ansuan.
Madam Chair, I echo the objection of Vice Chair Jonathan Keith Flores and Congressman Zia Adyong in that when we are prevented from asking probing questions, in the same manner, the impeachment does not give us license for unlimited discovery. And so we must take note of the objection of the BIR Commissioner that Section 270 of the National Internal Revenue Code criminalizes the divulgence of tax returns by BIR officials. This is very clear. And the only exception that I can think of is the one mentioned by the Commissioner. And even then, if we invoke that section, it refers to inquiries in aid of legislation. And I think that this impeachment proceeding is so far away from an inquiry in aid of legislation. Furthermore, Madam Chair, the subject or the respondent in the impeachment case is the Vice President. Attorney Manscarpio, whose tax returns we are going to expose here now, is a private citizen. He is her husband, and he is not the one who is the respondent in the impeachment case, which also brings us to Section 3 of the Data Privacy Act, which treats income tax returns as sensitive personal information, which is included in the heightened privacy protections of that statute. And it is not a shield that vanishes whenever Congress decides to take up a subpoena pen. And so, inulit ko po, Madam Chair, na hindi dapat talaga natin ilabas yung ITR ni Attorney Manscarpio dito sa hearing natin ngayon.
Madam Chair.
May I ask first the BIR Commissioner, if indeed the Justice Committee has no authority to open this box, then when will be the right time to see the contents of this box?
Actually, Madam Chair, when we submitted the documents subject of the subpoena to the House Committee on Justice, we are very much aware as well of the requirement that the same should be in aid of legislation. And
Louder,
our
Commissioner,
premise-
please.
And our premise, when we submitted the documents, is that the proceedings of the committee is also in aid of legislation, given the plenary power of Congress to legislate. This is just my opinion, Madam Chair. Whatever that may be discussed here could possibly be the basis of a possible amendment of, for example, the Bank Secrecy Law or of the tax code itself. And so again, Madam Chair, yes, we are aware that when we submit the documents, it must be in aid of legislation. Our premise when we submitted the documents is that this proceeding is also in aid of legislation. Now, applying what the law expressly says, it can only be examined if the two requisites concur in aid of legislation and in an executive session. Thank you, Madam Chair.
But this is not an inquiry in aid of legislation. As clearly pointed out by the members, this is entirely different proceeding. This is an impeachment proceeding.
If that is the case, Madam Chair, then Section 20A will not apply.
What is Section 20?
To the submission of pertinent information by the Commissioner to Congress.
That is an
20A
exception.
That is an exception, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable
Madam Chair.
Terry Ridon.
Madam Chair, I'd like to state that Section 20, which is being stated, no? Can you state it for the record, Honorable Commissioner, please? The provision again, can you state it again for the record, please?
That is Section 20 NIRC.
Yes, Section 20
Yes, Madam
NIRC.
Can we flash it?
Submission to Congress.
Secretariat. Section 20 NIRC.
Please read it for the record, please. Restate it again, please.
Yeah.
Madam
Section 20, letter A, submission of pertinent information to Congress. The provision of Section 270 of this code To the contrary notwithstanding, the Commissioner shall, upon request of Congress and in aid of legislation, furnish its appropriate committee pertinent information, including but not limited to industry audits, collection performance data, status reports and criminal actions initiated against persons, and taxpayers' returns, provided, however, that any return or return information which can be associated with or otherwise identify, directly or indirectly, a particular taxpayer shall be furnished the appropriate committee of Congress only when sitting in executive session, unless such taxpayer otherwise consents in writing to such disclosure.
Thank you for restating the provision. I'd like to state for the record that the subpoena given to the BIR, Madam Chair, is not a request. It is part of a compulsory process in which the BIR had complied. So my question to BIR is whether or not this particular provision actually applies to this particular submission to the impeachment proceeding. Because we are not requesting anything from the Commission. We are requiring, under compulsory processes of impeachment rules, for the BIR to actually submit these documents of the Vice President, of Attorney Carpio, and their firms to Congress. And second point, to be clear, when the Commission actually submits it to Congress, the penalty is not on members of Congress, no? The penalty is on BIR officers, employees, no? When they make a divulgence, is that correct? So in the event that the documents are actually submitted and ultimately unsealed by this committee during impeachment proceedings, what criminal offense actually exists on a BIR officials when the persons that will actually unseal and look into the documents will not be the BIR, it will be the members of this committee, Madam Chair.
I find it strange really, no?
Madam Chair.
Parang you are so near yet you're so far.
Madam Chair.
The BIR apparently complied with the subpoena by bringing to us the sealed box. But because of that issue of confidentiality, we cannot open the box.
Madam Chair.
Honorable Tino.
Madam Chair, first of all, we note that the BIR themselves have a broad interpretation, which I happen to agree with regard to the meaning of in aid of legislation. No, ibig sabihin, my understanding is that is Congress discharging its duties. So the impeachment process in that broad sense will also be covered by in aid of legislation. Katulad nga ng nabanggit, no? There are many issues that have arisen here which may be the subject of legislation. For example, yung mga problema sa bank secrecy law. No? Kaya nga po ang sinabi ko kanina, ang aking posisyon ay covered na ito. Pwede, for as long as the documents are inspected by this committee in executive session. No? Pero kung hindi naman, I mean, kailangan pa ba, if for example, I file a resolution in aid of legislation, which also results in the subpoena of the same documents, di pwede na. Ganun po ba ang sinasabi ng committee? No? In other words, the contents of the documents are not beyond the reach of this committee. No? And so I would subscribe to the broad interpretation of the phrase in aid of legislation, Madam Chair.
We note the manifestation of the Honorable Tino. Now we recognize the Honorable Karen Lagbas.
Madam Chair, there is a Latin maxim which provides expressio unius est exclusio alterius. This means that the express mention of one thing implies the exclusion of another. It is very clear that the officials, officers, or employees of the BIR are prohibited from divulging information regarding the taxpayer or any information relative thereto. And there is only one exemption, if the Congress requests in aid of legislation. And yes, Madam Chair, should we allow BIR to violate this specific prohibition, they will be subjected to penalties. Kawawa naman po sila, Madam Chair. Nag-comply naman po sila sa subpoena. They are here. They waited for more than 9 hours. Nag-comply sila, andito po yung box. Sana naman, magiging sensitive na rin tayo by at very least complying with what is provided for by the law. That is all, Madam Chair.
So when is the correct time to open the box, Commissioner? No, because there are two requirements. Inquiry in aid and executive session. Both should be present. And assuming that the committee will decide not to open, may I just ask, when is the correct time to open the box? Commissioner?
Well, if the committee says that this is not in aid of legislation, then Section 20A will not apply. And therefore, what we will do, Madam Chair, is to withdraw our submission.
Madam Chair, this has been submitted already.
Wa-
I'd rather
Madam Chair,
keep this.
what do you mean withdraw your
even when it's
submission? You will
sealed.
take this back, the box?
Yes, Madam Chair, because when we submitted the documents,
To be specific, Commissioner, in the event that the committee votes in favor of probable cause, assuming only for the purpose of discussion, that the impeachment complaint is transmitted to the Senate, will they be in the correct position to open this box? I'm referring to the senators.
well, if we go by the specific statutory exceptions, Madam Chair, an impeachment proceeding or an impeachment trial is not one.
Can you speak
Yeah.
louder, Com?
If I go by the specific statutory exceptions, Madam Chair,
It's not
then-
part of your exception. It doesn't make mention at all of impeachment proceeding.
precisely, Madam Chair. So that is not, what I am saying is that an impeachment proceeding or an impeachment trial is not one of the exceptions.
So
to
even the
Section 270.
senators cannot open this box?
If we go by the provisions of the law, Madam Chair, then there is no basis as well for the disclosure.
Again, Madam Chair,
Madam Chair, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
this is such an absurd
Madam Chair.
situation.
The Honorable Rurik Padiernos, and then the Honorable Tino, and then the Honorable Diaz Suarez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to ask some clarificatory questions.
Is that about the box?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Because yung na-mention po kasi, Madam Chair, ni BIR Commissioner, this representation is in the position that impeachment proceedings is sui generis. It's a class of its own, different from yung na-mention po na in aid of legislation. So, I just wanted to again, if I heard it correctly from the Commissioner, Madam Chair, if the section that was mentioned a while ago does not apply, does it mean that you you have to get the box, meaning you're not bound because wala nga pong basis ng pagbigay. So that's the only way that you will submit. Medyo mahirap po tong sitwasyon natin kasi po we don't have a specific law to say that pwede po talaga niyang ibigay yan, except yun lang po yung basis niya. So I just wanted to get a clarification from the Commissioner.
Madam Chair, had it, as mentioned by Representative Adyong a while ago, had it been the intention that the impeachment proceeding be an exception to Section 270 of the National Internal Revenue Code, then the law would have said so, as it did in the Bank Secrecy Law, where it is explicitly provided that an impeachment proceeding is an exception to the confidentiality of bank deposits.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair. Madam Chair. Sige po.
Are you finished, Honorable Padiernos?
Madam Chair, maybe the committee should address this by voting on the matter after the Honorable Tino makes his
Let's
manifestation.
hear first the position of
we lay on the table the opening of the contents to the said box until we find the true legal position and avoid any constitutional constraints moving forward. So moved, Madam
Seconded.
Chair.
Madam Chair.
There is a motion to
Chair.
lay on the table the opening of the box. The same has been seconded. Honorable Rufus
Yes,
Rodriguez.
Madam Chair, this is a very difficult question of law. It involves the philosophy of law. There are two kinds of interpretation when there are two conflicting laws. Whether you are in the positive school, that is Justice Scalia of the Supreme Court of the United States, or you belong to the spirit of the law school. Now, Mr. Chairman, in the positive school of law, that is precisely what the National Internal Revenue Code says. In the positivist approach of law, and lawyers will know this because you all took up theory of the law, it is you confine yourself in the four corners of the positive law. That is positivism. Correct, Commissioner? Because you're a lawyer. And so you took up philosophy. What law school did you go to?
I'm a product of San Beda University.
Oh, very good law
College
school.
of Law.
So therefore, in the positivist school, this is an issue on whether the NIRC, in the four corners of the NIRC, the National Internal Revenue Code, it is clear there that it can only be done in aid of legislation and in executive session. So that is the positive law. In other words, if you follow that trend of law, there can be no opening of this because we can never convert ourselves into an executive session or an aid of legislation because we have another function right now, which is impeachment. Now, what do you say about that, the positive school of thought?